Alrighty. So we'll start with the legs just crossed out in front. If you've got a cushion or something to sit up to elevate the hips, that can be really nice if you're feeling a bit tight through the front there. Or if it's just really uncomfy, you can stretch the legs out in front as well. So yeah, I think we've got one more person coming in, so just give me 2 seconds. Just check. Alrighty, cool. So starting with the legs crossed, we'll bring the hands around to the front of the inside of the front of the knee, so we can use them just to grip. We'll take just a few movements through the spine to get warmed up and come into the space before we do our breathing practice. So with the hands on the front of the knees, you can use them to traction to bring the chest forward, just keeping the gaze out in front for the moment. Squeeze the shoulder blades back behind you. Take a nice big inhalation. And as you exhale, I'm going to round through the back, tuck the chin into the chest, nice C shape through the spine. And again, you can use those fingers or the hands to really build some traction through the spine. So moving through, as you inhale, chest comes forward. Just the gaze can stay out in front or maybe even up a little as we stretch into the front of the throat. And as you exhale, rounding through the back, tucking the chin in towards the chest. We'll flow through just a couple times, warming up through the spine. Nice big inhalation. Gaze can come up a little higher. And exhale, round through the back. As big a C shape as you can. Couple more. Maybe stretching the neck, the gaze a little bit higher. And as you come forward, really squeezing the shoulder blades together to open up into the chest. Beautiful. Let's take one more big inhalation. And exhale, just coming back to the center. Similar sort of movement, but this time we're going to rotate in a big circle. So the chest comes around all the way out to the knee. And go either direction, we're going to swap it over. Comes forward and then back. All the way back to find that nice C shape. So really big circles with the shoulders, circling over the hips. Really exaggerate the movement as much as you can. And that's really nice lubrication for the spine. Really beautiful. So a couple more rounds here. And just let the head kind of hang and even shut your eyes down. Beautiful. When you feel ready, you can swap the direction over. So we feel even through the body. Nice and slow, nice and exaggerated. Head can sort of almost spin around a little as well. You really loosen up. Too rigid, just going with the flow. And even with the breath as well, as you come forward, nice big inhalation. And as you come towards the back, that exhalation. Beautiful. And imagining that you're a spiral. We're going to spiral the way in towards the center. So slowly those circles make their way smaller and smaller until we feel the head and the shoulders align right over the hips. So sitting up nice and tall. Let's swap the legs over. So the other leg comes down in front, just even up through the hips. And let those shoulder blades relax down the back. Hands can stay on the knees, maybe palms down or palms up towards the ceiling. If you're feeling a little low on energy, you want to receive some extra into your body. As we come into just our breathing practice, or our pranayama practice briefly, before we take a few more movements for our asana practice. So shutting the eyes down if you like, just relaxing through those shoulders. Nice big inhalation to draw the crown of the head up, really tall through the spine. And as you exhale, again, just letting those shoulders relax and drop down the back a little more. Sometimes we don't even notice that we're tensing, we're holding them up. So just consciously making an effort to release them down the back. Just a couple rounds of breath here, just noticing our own gentle breath rhythm. Seeing if the breath is maybe faster or slower. You can really bring the focus internally, checking on the heart rate. Beautiful. And bring one hand up to the top of the chest and the other hand onto the belly, just so we can start to feel the movement of the breath beneath the palm. As we start to lengthen the breath now, inviting some extra oxygen into the body, into the lungs. And a gentle exhalation, and feel the movement underneath the palm. And as we invite some extra oxygen into the lungs, maybe see if you can breathe into your palm. So really breathing right down into the belly, feeling that expansion beneath your hand. And then a nice slow, gentle contraction as well as you breathe out. It's really nice to build this conscious breath, to help center ourselves at the beginning of the practice. And we carry the breath throughout the whole practice as well as we move through the postures. Always coming back to the breath. So let's take 3 more rounds in your own time. Beautiful. And as you finish that last breath, we'll come forward over the hands and knees. We can bring the legs out to the side to find our tabletop position. If the wrists are a little bit sore here, you can always come up onto the fists as well. You've got that option. Otherwise, spreading the fingers nice and wide. Knees underneath the hips, about hip width apart. And draw the belly up so we get that core muscles already switched on. Let's send the right foot back, tucking the toes under, and really pushing back into the heel, just coming into a gentle calf stretch. And it's a nice release for the legs after having them crossed as well. Couple rounds of breath here. Really pressing that heel back, tucking the toes under. Beautiful. Just release the leg and bring it over to the left side of the mat. It comes all the way over, and you can look down over your left shoulder to see your heel or the foot. So we start to get a nice stretch through the lateral side of the body, through the side ribs. Couple rounds of breath, still switching onto those core muscles so the tummy stays up nice and firm. Those full rounds of breath. Nice big inhalation, almost fanning out the rib cage on that right side. And as you next exhale, let's release the leg, you can come back into the center. We'll swap it over, stretching the left foot back, tucking the toes under. You need to come forward on your mat and go for it. Really pressing back into the heel. And remember, you can use those fists as well if the wrists are getting a bit sore. Couple nice rounds of breath here. And then we'll lift the foot up, taking it across the body over to the right side and bringing the gaze over the right shoulder as well. Looking all the way down your leg towards the heel and fanning out the rib cage on that left side. Belly stays up nice and firm and strong. Strong through the arms as well, always turning for the arms. Beautiful. And those nice deep rounds, full breath. Nice big inhalation. And as you exhale, let's come back to the center and release. Take the big toes together, knees out nice and wide, mat width. Send the hips back towards the heels and stretch the arms all the way out in front, letting the forehead rest down onto the mat. As we come into Adho Mukha Virasana, the downward facing hero pose. Really stretching the fingertips forward and out in front, even creeping the fingertips a little bit further forward so you get that nice long spine. Beautiful release for the back. And the gentle pressure on the forehead as well. It's a really nice grounding way to connect with that area on the forehead, helping to stimulate the relaxation response. You start to open up into the hips as the hips draw back towards the heels. And again, let's come back to those nice deep rounds of breath, right into the belly. Let's take one more big inhalation. And as you exhale, welcome the hands back in towards the body. We're going to take the tabletop position one more time, just to fire up through the core a little bit more. So again, if those wrists are getting sore, up onto the fist. Let's stretch the right leg back just as we did before. But this time, we're going to bring the knee in underneath the chest and round through the back. See if you can touch your nose to your knee. It's a little way away, but that's the action we're going for as we round through the back and squeeze the knee up towards the chest. Nice big inhalation. And as you exhale, let's send it back. We'll keep it at that hip height. Beautiful. Going through, inhale, squeezing nose to knee. And exhale to release it back. Beautiful. One more big inhalation. Squeeze it in. Let's hold it here. Rounding through the back. And exhale to release. Send it back behind you. And then let's place it down. Swap over to the other side. Left foot comes back. Up to the hip height. Nice and strong through the belly. As we inhale, drawing in, nose to knee. Squeeze it up, round through the back. Really separate the shoulder blades. And exhale, back to the hip height. Inhale, draw it in, nose to knee. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And exhale, release. Last one, big inhalation. Draw it in, let's hold it a little longer. Separate those shoulder blades. And exhale to release. Send it back. And let's release it down. Beautiful work, guys. Nice and warm. Tuck the back toes. Let's walk the hands back. Give the wrist a bit of a roll out. And if that feels too strong for the toes, remember you can always come down onto the flats of the feet. But hang in there if you can, because it's beautiful for the soles of the feet. And give those wrists a roll. Lovely. Hands come to the hips. Let's come up to the standing kneeling, and we'll bring the right foot forward. We want the knee just over the heel of the ankle, and we'll slowly start to lunge forward a little bit. We tuck the tailbone under, keep the belly in, and we'll stay pretty strong, pretty upright through the spine. So feel a nice stretch at the front of the hip flexor here, rather than diving fully in just yet. If you need a little bit more, you can wriggle that foot forward as you come down, nice and gently. Again, still looking for that nice knee alignment over the heel or the ankle. Hands can stay on the hip, or maybe they come to support on the knee. Or if you're feeling good, take a big inhalation, bring the arms up, and we can sink just a little lower as we let the shoulder blades relax down the back. Nice and energy through the fingertips, so they stay nice and strong. So a couple rounds of breath here. Now low lunge. Nice big inhalation to reach up even taller. As you exhale, bring the arms forward, all the way back, palms face back behind you. Come into a little almost aeroplane as you squeeze the shoulder blades together, opening the front of the chest. And just leaning slightly forward, we get this nice long line between the knee all the way up through the crown of the head. And that's a good little workout for the core as well. If it feels too strong, remember you can always come back, hands on the legs. Beautiful, nice big inhalation. And as you exhale, bring the arms down. Let's take both hands to the inside of the foot, planting the right hand down so you can lift the left all the way up towards the sky. So coming to a bit of an open twist through the chest. Couple rounds of breath here. Beautiful, nice big inhalation. And as you exhale, let's plant the hand down. Untap that back toe if you haven't already. And we can sink down into a bit of a lower lunge, keeping both hands to the inside of the foot. If it feels too strong, remember you can always back out and just hang out here with the hands supported on the knee and maybe just releasing a little lower into the lunge that way. But if you're down here with the hands into the lizard lunge, that's wonderful. We'll take a couple rounds of breath. Really nice opening through the hips. Nice big inhalation. And as you exhale, taking the weight back onto the knee, so we can sweep the leg all the way back to find our tabletop position. We'll tuck the toes, coming back to our kneeling position. And this time taking a few rolls through the shoulders, nice and big. Again, if it's feeling too strong on the soles of the feet, you can always drop down. And swap the direction, big shoulder roll forward. Something so simple, but it really does release the shoulder joint. Oh, wow. Beautiful. Let's take the hands to the hips coming forward, over onto the other leg now. Left foot comes forward or the opposite to before, whichever one you did. And staying up nice and strong to begin with, keeping that tailbone under, belly drawing in. Knee comes right over the heel or the ankle as we just start to release down. It's almost as though you want to squeeze your thighs back in towards each other. So it's like that scissoring action to close energetically. So we're not actually moving the legs, but it's like they're squeezing back in. And that can increase the stretch there as well. And also make you feel really solid, really strong. Beautiful. Take the arms up if you like. Big inhalation. Strong through the fingertips, but the shoulder blades relax down the back. A couple rounds of breath here. As you next inhale, reaching up nice and tall. And to exhale, bring the arms forward, all the way back behind you, palms back. Just bringing this forward, bringing the upper body forward a little bit to get that nice long line through the spine, through that back leg. Squeeze those shoulder blades together, opening up into the front of the chest. Beautiful. Core nice and strong, belly button squeezing into the back of the spine. Nice big inhalation. And as you exhale, we're coming down, both hands to the inside of the leg. We'll plant the left foot down. We can float the right all the way up towards the sky. Big open twist through the spine. Couple rounds of breath here. Gaze can stay down at your foot and your hand, or if you're feeling good with the balance, take it up beyond the fingertips. As long as it's feeling good for the neck. Nice big inhalation, reach the fingertips up a little bit higher. And as you exhale, bring it all the way down. Maybe staying in this lizard lunge, we can untap the back toes. Or if that's feeling a bit strong, just coming back, hands to knees, and we can deepen that lunge a little further from this more upright position. So choosing your option, whatever's feeling good, there's no pressure. Your body, your practice. For a couple rounds of breath. If you're in the lizard lunge, keep the shoulders, arms nice and strong, the fingertips spread, and the gaze just towards the top of the mat, a little bit further out in front. Beautiful. Nice big inhalation. And as you exhale, send the weight back onto the back knee. So you can swoop the leg all the way back behind you. Let's take the knees together, feet together. Send the hips back towards the heels, and we'll bring the arms down by your side to come into the child's pose so the head can rest fully down onto the mat. If that doesn't feel comfortable for you and you want to take the option with the knees out wide and the big toes together, you can go ahead and still do the same thing here with the arms. It just gives a bit more space for the body Some people it's just not comfortable for the hips in that closed position. It's no problem. It's just a nice little rest at the moment in Balasana or Adho Mukha Varasana. Connecting back with the breath. Beautiful. Let's bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. Come all the way back up. You'll find the tabletop position. And then walk the hands forward one more handstand. So a little bit wider now. Spreading the fingertips. You know where we're going as we touch the back toes. Send the tailbone up towards the sky. And we'll take our first downward facing dog. Pedal out the heels if you like. If at any stage this gets too strong for you, remember you can always come back to the half down dog, puppy pose. So knees on the mat, arms out in front, and we can stretch it out that way. We get the same length through the spine. Otherwise, here in Adho Mukha Varasana, pedaling out the heels, one knee bends while the other leg extends if you like. Tailbone reaches up towards the sky. We get that nice long spine. Head can relax. You can give it a nod or a shake out. We've got a good bend through the knees. The heels reach down towards the mat, but there's no stress for them to touch. We've got lots of space in the back of the hamstrings. And still really warming up, so no pressure to get the heels all the way down. Beautiful. Hanging out here, a couple more rounds of breath. Sending some blood down into the brain. A little gentle inversion. Keep the hands nice and strong. Big inhalation. And as you exhale, bring the shoulders over the wrists. We'll bend through the knees and really slowly come all the way down back to our tabletop position. See how slow you can go. Keep that core muscles wrapping in, switched on, belly button drawing up to the spine. And then we rest all the way down. Beautiful work. Let's come all the way down onto the tummy. So we can untuck the toes and keep the hands in just underneath the shoulders. And the elbows hugging in nice and close to the body as well. Untuck the toes if you hadn't already, and we'll press the tops of the feet down into the mat. We feel the kneecaps lift off. Big inhalation, and as you exhale, with heel, lift the chest and the head up off the mat. Shoulder blades squeeze together, just as they were before in that aeroplane pose. Squeeze together and draw down the back to help open up a little further into the front of the chest. Neck stays nice and long, and the gaze just towards the top of the mat, or even straight down, so you feel the crown of the head reaching out in front. And we've got Bhujangasana, the cobra pose. Nice big inhalation. And as you exhale, release the head all the way down. If you're feeling very energetic this morning, you can push all the way through plank up to downward facing dog. Or if you're like me and you're taking your Saturday nice and cruisy, let's just come to the knees first. Tuck the back toes. And we'll find our downward facing dog. We can all meet there, no matter how you get there. Or if you're taking the half puppy, hanging out there as well, no stress. Beautiful. Let's take a big inhalation coming up onto the tiptoes. And as you exhale, big bend through the knees, but this time we'll walk the feet all the way up towards the hands, coming up to the top of the mat. Keep a good bend through the knees as you hang forward. You want the feet about hip width apart. You're not sure exactly the width of your feet. Sorry, I'm putting the microphone. If you're not sure the width of your hips, take the hands together, the fists together, and they should fit just in between the big toes. That's about the width of your hips. So let the head hang down. We can interlace opposite hand to elbow. Take a rock side to side. And release through the back for Uttanasana, forward fold. Beautiful. Let's release the hands down as we inhale, coming to the halfway lift. So hands to shins or maybe to the side. As we extend out through the tailbone behind us, crown of the head reaches out in front. So get that nice flat back, belly still draws in. Wherever the hands are, really working for you this morning. You want to keep those shoulders squeezing together at the back of the body so the chest is nice and open. Big inhalation. And as you exhale, release it back down. Just hang. Let it all release. Give the head a nod or a shake out. Keeping out any tension, any stress, anything you don't need. Keep it out into your mat. And we'll inhale to come back up, half lift. Take the arms out nice and wide, shoulder height. Press down into the feet as we come up, flat back, all the way up. Stretch the arms up nice and high, reaching up towards the sky. And exhale to release, come down. Just arms by your side. Make any adjustments that you need. You're nice and comfy. We come to standing in Tadasana. If you're not already, make your way up to the top of the mat. So you can stay at that hip width. Little soft bend through the knees as we tuck the tailbone under. Belly draws in. We stand up nice and tall. Palms facing forward as the shoulder blades drop down. Maybe shutting the eyes just briefly as we come into Tadasana, mountain pose. Connecting back with the breath. So feel that heart rate maybe increase a little bit. Bringing that focus back internally. Just resetting before we go through our standing flow this morning. Beautiful. Nice big inhalation. And let's exhale out through the mouth. You can be nice and loud. No one's going to hear you. Big inhalation. And out through the mouth. Let those shoulders sink down a bit more. One more big inhalation. Out through the mouth. So good. Let's take the hands to the hips and the weight over into the right foot so we can lift the left. Come down in front. If that's feeling a little bit of a challenge for the balance, choose your focus point, something to help. But you can always drop the toes just to the mat so you've got that little bit of extra support. So if you're feeling good here with the knee on about a 90-degree angle, if you can hug it right into the chest, interlacing the hands, the front of the knee, really squeeze it in to the body. Staying up nice and tall through the crown of the head, so not rounding forward to grab it. We draw the shoulder blades back, chest stays nice and open. Beautiful as we take our standing wind release pose. One more big inhalation. And as you exhale, releasing the knee, take the hands back to the hips and a big step all the way back behind you. Plant the foot down. Taking the toes just out slightly on about a 45-degree angle. And we've got a good, probably leg width between the feet. We'll square the hips to the top of the mat so we're still facing nice and square forward with the upper body. Good bend through the front knee, coming over the heel or the ankle again. And then let's then inhale, take the arms up for warrior one. Again, the shoulders can relax down the back. Gaze can stay forward or maybe even comes up towards the ceiling or the sky. For a few rounds of breath here, opening into the chest, into that front body, for Adho Mukha Virasana. No, it's, oh, my brain's gone dead. Warrior one. Completely gone out of my brain. That's all right. Let's take a big inhalation and a nice big exhalation. Again, through the mouth if you like. Lovely. Nice big inhalation. This time as we exhale, bring the hands back down to the hips. Taking the weight forward into the front leg. We'll step it all the way up to the top of the mat. Step over to the other side. Grounding down into the left foot. And the right leg maybe comes to the toes. Maybe lift the leg out in front. Nice bend through the knees. Or maybe you can reach, squeeze the side in towards the chest. Focus point to help with the balance, something that's not moving. Draw the shoulder blades back. Beautiful. Really strengthening for the leg, strengthening for the ankle, and nice and tall up through the crown of the head. So you're growing taller up towards the sky. Big inhalation, squeeze that leg in a little bit more. And then let's release the hands, release the leg. Step it all the way back, hands can come to the hips as we make our way into warrior one. So planting the heels down, slight angle with the back toes, 45 degrees. Square the hips to the top of the mat. Good bend through the front knee. And we'll inhale to take the arms up. Couple rounds of breath here. Shoulder blades relaxing down the back. Gaze can come up as well. If it's feeling okay for the neck. You can have a little peek down if you need to at your alignment. Should be able to see the big toe just past the knee and the knees tracking out towards the pinky edge of the foot. And then maybe the gaze can come back up for a couple rounds of breath here. And our warrior one pose. Beautiful, nice big inhalation. And exhale, bring the hands back to the hips, weight comes forward into the front foot. And we'll step it up to the top of the mat. Coming around now so you're lengthways on your mat. About a similar distance for the feet. We'll take the right toes forward and the left just slightly in at the back. If it's mirroring or it's not mirroring, up to you which side you want to do. We're going to do both, so there's no stress that way. Front toes pointing forward, back toes just in slightly on that 45-degree angle. Little tiny bend through the front knee to keep this thigh active. Let's lift the arms up shoulder height. Big inhalation. And as you exhale, we're going to reach forward, reach without bending that knee anymore. So feel that slight micro bend. And when you can't reach anymore, we're going to spiral down to find Trikonasana. Top arm reaching up. That's a bit strong. Can come to rest on the hip. Or if it's just a bit strong for the core muscles, we can use that hand or maybe the elbow to rest a little bit of the pressure onto the thigh. But if you're feeling good, bottom hand reaches down towards the mat, almost pressing in towards the bottom of the leg. And we really open out the chest. Gaze can stay down at the bottom foot, or you can tuck the chin in towards the chest, take the gaze all the way up to look beyond the fingertips. So we come into Trikonasana, triangle pose. One of my favorites, really nice stretch through the side body, and we generate some really good heat through the body as well. So strengthening and stretching. Couple more rounds of breath. If you need to take a break with that support, go ahead. Otherwise, hang in there. You've got this. This is our peak pose. So don't worry, we're nearly there. Big inhalation. As you exhale, big bend through the front knee. Let's lift it all the way up. Lovely. Let's go straight to the other side. So back toes come in, front toes pointing forward. Just that little slight 45-degree angle with those back legs. Little slight micro bend through the front knee now, opposite leg. Big inhalation. And as you exhale, reach. So you can't reach anymore. Spiraling down, choosing your option. Top arm may be lifted, bottom arm reaching down. Maybe that arm rests just on the hip or the thigh, on the waist. You can use the forearm for support, maybe the hand. Picking your option, let's do this. We've got Trikonasana, so gaze staying down if the balance is feeling a little tricky on this side. Or tuck the chin in towards the chest to help protect the neck as you take the gaze up towards the sky. Couple rounds of breath here, still breathing nice and strong, nice and slow into the lungs, filling up the belly. Beautiful stretch through the side body. Enjoy it. Wonderful for you. Couple more rounds of breath here. You've got this. Maybe noticing, is this side a little harder? Is it a little easier than the other side? One more inhalation. If you've got the gaze up, tuck the chin back in towards the chest. And as you exhale, let's bend the front knee, lifting all the way up. Beautiful work. Hands can come to the hips. Toes facing in towards each other now. Heels facing out. Little soft bend through both knees. Big inhalation, broadening through the chest. And as you exhale, let's fold at the hip creases. Coming down to that halfway point. Or if you're feeling good, you can go ahead, release it all the way down. For Prasarita Tadasana. The wide angle forward fold. Couple rounds of breath here again. If you're releasing out all the way, give that head a little nod or a shake out. Release the tension in the neck. So keeping that soft bend through the knee as we find that beautiful stretch out through the backs of the legs. Lovely. As you next inhale, lift the hands up so they come underneath the shoulders. Make sure you've got those thighs switched on, pressing down into the feet. Let's bring the hands back to the hips and big bend through the knees. Come all the way back up. Take the arms back behind you. We'll interlace the hands. So a full clasp, or maybe just a bend through the wrist to interlace the fingers. Whatever's working for you through the shoulders. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, draw them down the back. Nice big inhalation to broaden through the chest. The gaze can come up. Beautiful work. Big exhalation, sigh it out through the mouth if you like. This time as we inhale, drawing the shoulder blades back. And as we exhale, feel a soft bend through the knees as we fold it forward. Maybe just coming to that halfway point, keeping the arms in contact with the back if that's feeling like plenty, staying here, or even releasing it back a bit if it's feeling too much. If you're feeling good, you can release the head all the way down, and maybe the hands come up towards the sky. Nice for the shoulders, really nice for the pecs. As we hang forward in this variation. Just choosing your option. If you've gone too far and this is feeling too much, you can always release it back. Arms can rest along the body. Keep those shoulders active as much as you can. So still squeezing the shoulder blades together. Beautiful. Press down into the mat. Let's lift the upper body, good bend through the knees as we come all the way back up. Release the hands. Give the shoulders a good shake out. Lovely, that's lovely. Heel toe the feet in a couple times. And keep the arms, keep the legs a good shake out. Let's just release it all out. We'll come up towards the top of the mat and just make our way down to a seated position with the legs out in front. Taking the left leg in, so the foot comes in towards the thigh. We'll keep the shoulders square over the front foot. Nice big inhalation, reach the arms up. Strong through the back. As we exhale, just a gently forward fold. Rounding through the back. You can let the head and the neck hang down. Coming forward over the front leg. We want to keep the toes flexed in towards you, so this leg is still active. Maybe a little lift through the knee, so you feel the thighs switched on. Nice big inhalation. And as you exhale, slowly unrolling through the spine, we'll come back up to seated. Inhale, take the arms up, big reach, stretch up. And exhale, let's fold it forward. Hands come in towards the body as we unroll through the spine. Big inhalation to lift up, reach up. And exhale, this time we'll hold it a little longer. So just letting the hands rest wherever they are. You're back here or here, no stress. After feels good for your body this morning. We find a really good stretch out through the hamstring. Couple rounds of breath. Keep those toes flexing in towards you. Beautiful work, doing so well. Nice big inhalation. And as you exhale, let's unroll it all the way up. Take the hand underneath the knee, help it in. Let's swap it over. The other leg comes out in front. Foot comes in just to the side, so above the knee. Flex the toes in towards you, little lift up through that front leg with the thighs switched on and active. Big inhalation to reach the arms up, strong through the spine. And as you exhale, fold it forward, nice and gentle. Just easing into the pose, rounding through the back. We'll draw the hands in towards the body to come up. Big inhalation, reaching up. And exhale to soften and fold it forward. Beautiful, hands come in towards the body. For the last one, big inhalation, reach up through the crown of the head as well as the arm. Exhale to fold it forward, and this time we'll hold it here a little longer. Wherever's working for you today. As you round through the back, nice stretch through the back body, as well as that good stretch out through the hamstrings. Couple rounds of breath. Still keeping those toes active, pulling in towards you. Not too intense, but just so that they're switched on. Beautiful, nice big inhalation. And as you exhale, let's release it back. Hand can come underneath the knee, help it in. We'll shuffle towards the top of the mat, so you've got lots of space behind you as we come down to lay down on the back. Hands behind the knees for support as we round through the back with C-shape through the spine, tucking the chin in towards the chest, lifting on through the core muscle. Maybe you like to release the hand to get that little bit of extra body work. Otherwise, you're welcome to use the hands for support, or maybe you can use the elbows for support as the unrolls come all the way down onto the back. Let's hug the knees in towards the chest, give them a good squeeze. Maybe a rock side to side. Drawing some circles on the ceiling, massaging the lower back. Beautiful. Let's let the feet come down. We'll keep a bend through the knees. And we'll take the left foot up. So the foot comes just past the right knee. And the left knee is a big sort of figure four shape. Keep flexing the toes again so the toes are active. And we can reach, pulling the right thigh in towards the body, threading the hands between the legs to take hold of the back of the thigh. We can flex the feet on both, or we can flex the toes on both feet, sorry, as we take our supine pigeon. Finding a stretch through the glutes, so through the piriformis and the glutes on this left side of the body. We're really working towards flattening the tailbone down into the mat, keeping the spine nice and long. And if you want to take it a little bit further, maybe you can reach forward, taking hold of the outside of the shin and hugging the legs in a little bit more. If this is too much for you here, you can let the leg release back a bit to release the stretch. Even sometimes just being up on the toes is enough for some people sometimes. So choosing your option, as we've really found a good stretch through the glutes. When we're sitting a lot, this is an excellent one to do to help release the legs and helps to release any sciatica as well. Any of that tingling down your legs. Nice big inhalation. And as you exhale, let's release the grip. Release that top leg and we'll flip it straight over to come to the other side. So bringing the right foot up, just past the left knee, big figure four shape with the knee, and then hugging the thigh in towards the body, taking hold of the back of the left foot, the left thigh. Choosing your option. So if it's feeling too much, remember you can release it back. Maybe just up onto the toe, or maybe all the way, taking hold of the outside of the shin. Toes keep active, help protect the knee while we're here in our supine pigeon. A couple rounds of breath, focusing on flattening the tailbone down into the mat, drawing the left thigh in, but almost pushing the right knee away. Nice and gentle. That's the movement, the active movement that we're looking for. Take a few more rounds of breath here. Nice big inhalation. And as we exhale, releasing the grip, release that top leg. Let's take the arms out, big cactus arms, so the arms bend through the elbow, or you can take a big T shape, so the arms at the shoulder height. And we'll windscreen wipe the knees side to side to release through the back and release those glutes, get the blood flowing all through the lovely stretched muscle. Side to side. Wonderful. Coming back up through the center. Bring the arms back down by your side, pressing the palms down into the mat, and just walking the shoulders, really rolling them underneath the body. Press down into the feet, keeping the feet and the knees about mat width apart. Big inhalation. As you exhale, pressing the lower back down into the mat, you start to feel the tailbone want to lift off the mat. Let's keep with that movement as we draw the pelvis, the hips up towards the ceiling, coming into the bridge pose. Beautiful. The thighs switched on, glutes not overactive. So just keeping those knees in line with the hips and the feet. Beautiful, nice big inhalation. And as we exhale, slowly unrolling through the spine. Come all the way down. Windscreen wipe the legs side to side again. Let's release before we do one more bridge pose. Back to the center. Nice big inhalation. As you exhale, pressing the lower back down into the mat, feeling the tailbone loose. Bridge pose, press down into the hands and the arms to really draw the hips up, maybe a little bit higher this time. Nice for the core. And a gentle inversion as well, resting the heart, getting some fresh blood, some oxygen to the brain, helping to re-energize us for our day, for our weekend ahead. Nice big inhalation. And as you exhale, slowly unrolling the spine all the way down. Beautiful work. Let's take the soles of the feet together. Let the knees open out to the side. You can take the arms back up to that cactus arm shape, or maybe the T shape. Or if you prefer to leave them down by your side, maybe just taking the palms up as we come into Supta Baddha Konasana. If this feels uncomfortable for the hips, you can always take the knees together and the feet out mat width, so let the knees knock in towards each other. It can be a nice alternative to find some relaxation through the lower back. If you're feeling good with the knees open, soles of the feet together, we can let the eyes shut down for a moment. We're making our way towards our final pose, Shavasana. Getting some blood flowing all through the hips, through the body. Maybe coming back to those full rounds of breath. We'll bring the hands back to how we had them in the beginning of practice. So one hand onto the belly, the other hand onto the top of the chest. And again, breathing into the palms. So inviting some extra oxygen into the lungs, into the body. Feeling that expansion and contraction within. Feeling the breath, almost like the way that the waves flow in the ocean as they crash and push and pull on the beach. Coming in and drawing out. Our bodies are a big portion of water. And we feel that connectedness with the earth around us. The push and pull of the oxygen, the prana, the energy flowing in and out of the body. Let's take 3 more rounds of full breath here, your own time. And when you're ready, releasing the arms back down by your side, and releasing the legs out. We're coming to our final resting pose, Shavasana. With the feet out about mat width or hip width, letting the feet just hang out to the side. And the arms down by your side, just a little away from the body, with the palms facing up. If you like to grab a blanket or some socks or a jumper to pop on as you really start to cool down, so feel free to grab those now. We'll spend a few minutes here in our final resting pose, corpse pose. A really good way to integrate all the wonderful work that we've just done for our bodies, for ourselves, and a really enjoyable time to just rest, relax, and unwind, soaking in all that goodness. So make sure you are nice and comfy. It's worth the effort, taking that little bit of extra time. Make sure you're warm. If you've got an eye pillow, popping that over your eyes is really nice, or just shutting them to really bring the focus internally. You start to feel the whole body softening down into the mat. Take a slight part of the teeth. Let the tongue soften away from the roof of the mouth. You soften through the jaw, allowing the whole face to soften with it. The eyes roll back in your head. You find some space between the eyebrows, the third eye center. Allow the forehead to soften and the temples. The whole head begins to feel heavy as the weight is released off the neck. Into the shoulders, the shoulder blades, parts of your arms, all the way to the hands and the fingertips, softening and releasing down into the mat. You feel the back, the torso, the hips, and the pelvis, all releasing, softening into the mat. Both of your legs, all the way into the feet and the toes. Relaxed and releasing, fully supported by the mat and the floor, the layers of earth below you. You feel as though your whole body is just melting down into the floor. Just as the floor is made of soft butter. Becoming aware of your whole body, relaxed and releasing. Your whole body, your whole body. slowly start to move through the fingers and the toes, bringing some awareness back to the body, circling the ankles and the wrists, maybe drawing the knees in towards the chest, taking some more circles with the knees. And then making your way over onto your right side or your left, whichever you prefer, side of the body. And just pausing here for a moment before you come up. Just noticing how you feel through the body, through the mind, through the soul. Maybe setting an intention for the rest of the day. And using your arms to help you come up. We'll find a seated position facing your screen. Beautiful. Bring the hands in towards the heart center. Anjali Mudra into the prayer position. Little tuck of the chin in towards the chest in gratitude for your practice today. My quote for you today: almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you. Hope you have a really great weekend ahead. Namaste.